At Crover, we have developed the world's first granular drone, in the sense of a device able to swim through bulk solids and powders. And we're using it to help grain storage operators maintain the quality of their stock. Grains are the cornerstone of our global food system. Yet, grain storage represents the single phase with the highest post-harvest losses before consumption. The main culprit of grain storage is spoilage due to insects and molds, which can develop over time due to uncontrolled temperature and moisture conditions. Yet, there is currently no way to verify the condition of grains while they're static in storage, essentially turning silos and sheds into a black box of grain. The problem is with the picture that a grain storage operator can get using existing solutions, which can be divided in two main classes: manual probes and static sensors. The first has limited reach and puts farmers at risk of grain entrapment, which can be fatal. The second requires a large upfront capital investment and still only provides a limited picture. 16 years ago, I moved from Rome in Italy to study in the UK. And during my PhD at the University of Edinburgh, I was lucky to discover that the rotation of an object submerged in bulk solids and powders makes the object move in a straight line, or what we now call the Crover effect. We have already been granted a US patent on the Crover method, and we have more granted and pending patents on our technology. Using that technology, our team was able to develop the first device in the world able to move itself in every direction in bulk solids and powders, or what we call a Crover robot. After testing various iterations of our system and piloting it successfully with grain storage operators in the UK and in Italy, we're now preparing to launch the first commercial version of our Crover grain storage management system. This includes temperature and moisture sensors that dive into the bulk of the grain to scan the entire bulk as the robot swims through the grain. Oh, there was some technical issue with the robot. The data collected by the Crover robot is then sent wirelessly to our companion web app, from which grain storage operators receive a notification if grain conditions exceed a safe threshold, and they can also visualize 3D and 2D maps, which enable them to identify hotspots and wet spots and plan the best course of action. Apart from measuring grain condition, the movement of the Crover robot steers the grain, which helps maintain the grain quality and maintain the grain. Beyond that, we see the real power of the Crover robot as a platform to enable different tools and technologies to reach different areas of the bulk that they cannot otherwise. So we've recently moved to a modular approach, and we're introducing a new module capable of collecting physical samples at depth from within grain bulks. Our activities have so far been targeted primarily at centralized storage facilities with 700,000 tons of storage capacity, bushels, and the store for a continuous period of 3 months or longer. These are generally owned by grain merchants, cooperatives, and port operators, and we've already received great feedback from the ones that we've been working with. As we prepare to launch commercially, the plan is to offer the Crover grain storage management system in the form of a yearly service license fee. This includes lease of the hardware, integrated data transfer, access to the Crover web platform, and remote support, all for a yearly subscription. Because of the different requirements of our customer base, we also provide an alternative capital purchase option whereby customers can pay a one-off fee to own the hardware with the option to add additional services separately. As the only non-static monitoring solution, not only are we the only option to achieve the bulk coverage required for accurate integrated pest management, but our system is also generally cheaper than static configurations with 20 sensors or more. As also highlighted by the grain storage operators that we've been talking with in the Grow New York region. We had invested 6 figures in static sensing systems and are still looking for a better solution. In addition to reducing post-harvest losses from grain storage and transportation and helping make sure that more grains reach the end of the supply chain uncontaminated, the environmental impact of using the Crover system has been validated by the Impact Forecast team. We're the leading provider of life cycle analysis in Europe, and we estimated that a Crover robot will save, on average, 670 tons of CO2 equivalent per site per year. While we're currently based in Edinburgh in Scotland, we are constantly told that the US is where we need to be. And if we look at the numbers, it is quite obvious to see why. The grain storage capacity in North America is almost double that of the entirety of Europe. We're just based in the UK. And it is also the market with the greatest readiness to pay for grain storage monitoring and management solutions. We see a Grow New York award as the perfect opportunity to establish our sales and manufacturing base in upstate New York, and to work first in the Grow New York region as the perfect beachhead due to its perfect combination of world-class manufacturing capabilities, academic expertise, and the grain storage operators who are used to adopting and paying for new technologies. Some of the grain storage operators and agriculture businesses in the region also have facilities and operations that extend to the rest of the country and Canada, providing a great opportunity to later distribute the product from upstate New York to the rest of North America. The Grow New York business development trip was already a great opportunity to visit for 2 weeks manufacturing facilities, academics, incubation hubs, government organization, and grain storage sites, some of which are ready to work with us, like Howlett Farms, who own 7 sizable storage sites in the region. $1 million of investment from Grow New York would enable us within 12 months to establish our manufacturing and sales base in upstate New York, as well as to achieve the highest levels of certification for North America and to carry out further R&D to achieve full automation of the system and to adapt it to the requirements of local grain storage operators. To do so, within the first 12 months, we'll be creating 12 new full-time direct jobs in upstate New York, as well as 4 indirect jobs by working with manufacturing partners, universities, and grain storage operators. And I will be looking to spend time here myself as the CEO to oversee that expansion. We have so far raised £437,000, and the target is to reach 6,000 devices installed in as many storage units by 2029, which would translate in a turnover of over $36 million and create 101 jobs in New York State. We have already built a strong technical backbone to the team, with expertise ranging from robotics and automation to grain storage and certification for dust explosive atmospheres. Our team is currently made of 13 full-time professionals representing 10 different nationalities, and we're currently based at the National Robotarium, which is the new UK Centre for Robotics. And we're lucky to have the support of a fantastic network, including our non-executive director, John Knight, who is a leading expert on grain storage and the author of the Grain Storage Guides followed by UK farmers. As Michelle Hives, a professor emeritus at Cornell University and an expert on granular materials, said, our technology transcends the grain storage market. Bulk solids and powders represent the largest family of traded commodities worldwide. And the Crover robot can work in most of those, from fertilizers and pellets used in the agricultural industry to other minerals and powders used in the manufacturing and chemical industries. And we need your help with $1 million of investment from Grow New York to bring our mission of #SavingGrains to upstate New York. Thank you.
Really well done.